Hello ladies and gentlemen, and welcome back to Mass Effect. In the last episode, we did a lot of deals and shenanigans and all sorts of corporate espionage, and finally got our hands on a garage pass to go to the Peak 15 research facility to find out what Benezia has been up to out there. And this episode, that's exactly what we'll be doing.
Access to the garage is restricted.
I have authorization. Excuse me.
Yes, that's genuine. Drive safely. The weather's supposed to be pretty bad out in the Alutsk Valley.
So, bit of a showdown with some Geth here that Benezia managed to smuggle in. There's a very quick way, easy though these guys are, there's a quick way to wrap up this conversation that's quite good fun. There's this Mako that we have to unlock. It's a kind of different Mako to our one. It's a big, heavy weapons Mako. In reality, it's basically the same, but it looks different, as you can see. It's a more serious looking one, and if we hop into it, we can't drive it around, but we can use the main guns on it, and it's just incredibly useful for tracking down those stupid stalkers that bounce around the ceilings. In terms of how it drives, it handles, obviously can't move it, but the guns handle it in exactly the same way as the Mako. I think it's only called Mako because of a slight glitch. Where's this bloody stalker gone? God, that did nothing to him. That's not fair. They're so irritating. Even when you're in the massive tank. At least they can't really do anything to you in the tank, to be honest. Hey!
Where are these things? Fan out and secure the area. No one gets in or out.
Yeah, we're gonna get out, thanks. We've been waiting 2 bloody episodes to do this. As you can see, the real Mako. I wonder this. It's like the one on Ferris. This can't be our Mako. I think it's just Mako, which happens to be here. But anyway, we'll take it. And because, like all the kind of plot worlds, it does have a bit of a drivey section, which we'll go on and do. Bloop, bloop, bloop. Oh, nope, I said bloop, bloop. There we go. Now, as you saw, there's a hell of a blizzard outside, which means I believe there's a cold hazard here, so you can't spend too long outside the Mako. Other than that, this is a fairly kind of, boring drive. And this is where I'm going to come up with it. I'm not a fan of snow worlds. I don't know if I've mentioned this before, because no, it's not really come up much. But yeah, kind of snow, ice, it's just all a bit the same to me. I know people who find it, and this is in the real world too, Earth. There are people I know who love, kind of going to cold places, kind of Antarctica and stuff like that. I just kind of think that it's a bit of a wasteland, a bit desolate. But hey, each to their own, I guess. This is quite a long section as well. If we actually look at it on the map, you can see, yeah, we're heading to there, and we've just kind of got there. So it's quite a long one. What have we got in terms of equipment? Oh, dude, we've got a ton of stuff. I forget how much just equipment you just get for killing Geth. And there's a fair few Geth on the way here. If we come around this corner, you can see, there we go. There is now the Peak 15 research facility. It's a quite cool looking thing, that big spire. And here, there is I guess it's crash vehicle. For some reason, it's supposed to be snowing, there's supposed to be a blizzard going, but I think there we go, I think it's not quite rendered properly at first. It's having the same frame rate issue. Oh, it's like being on Antibar all over again. Here, the wind's kicking in at least. Then there's, Geth, excellent. Boop, there we go. Oh shit, there's a bloody Geth turret there, which I just completely missed. Oh, we're having some frame drops. It's definitely not liking having to, see, at least on Antibar, it only had to render, bad weather and us, and that was about it. Here it's having to render enemies as well, and the engine just unfortunately is not quite up to it. And I will admit that these things are a lot, these problems are mostly, hello? Stupid, how did they all miss me? Oh, these terrible people. Oh, ow, nope, they didn't, I'm stuck! There we go, we're okay. Yeah, a lot of the kind of frame droppy issues this game has and stuff are ironed out on PC. PC also, the elevators are much faster on PC because of course they are only disguising a loading time, and loading times are always faster on PC. But as I say, I just find recording easy. I'm more used to I know there are people who always complain about it, but I do prefer using a controller to a mouse and keyboard, even for okay, for a shooter, if it was an actual proper first-person shooter, I will say it, I prefer a keyboard and mouse. Being able to aim with a mouse is much better than being able to aim with a with a control pad. But when it comes to an RPG of any sort, pretty much, one thing I'm really bad at is remembering what keys do what. It sounds really stupid, but say Skyrim or Borderlands even, or something like that. odd that didn't have either music or sound effects. But yeah, Skyrim or Borderlands or something like that, if I haven't played it for a while, I come back to it, I can just never remember what all the various buttons do. Like, 'cause there are so many, like, keys that are just kind of like reaching to press a load of different keys just feels a lot more kind of unfamiliar and strange to me than just having, like, I guess I'm just used to button layouts on a joystick, and people have complained at me for that and just said, oh, the only reason that you feel the way you do about keyboard and mouse versus joystick is because you've not got used to a keyboard. But obviously that is kind of still an argument in itself. Like, if I shouldn't have to get used to something. Yes, it might be better in the long run, but it doesn't mean I'm going to spend time getting used to it. I'd just rather use what I prefer myself, because I am, regardless of which one is overall better, I feel I am better on a gamepad than on a keyboard and mouse. But anyway, I've got off on a bit of a tangent here, haven't I, bitching about some stuff. Yeah, it comes up a lot, that kind of whole PC versus consoles thing, and it's an argument I totally don't agree with, as someone who has both a decent gaming PC and some consoles. That, like, yes, I can see PC has its advantage and all that, and there's a lot of games I do enjoy playing on PC, but consoles for me are just easier. I like having a console and knowing that I can just put a game in and play it and it will work fine. Because, like, I've had games which the hardware of my PC is technically capable of running, more than capable of running, but it'll just have, like, some weird hardware thing and just be like, oh, nope, you have more than enough RAM to run this, but I just don't like your system, so I'm gonna freak out about your RAM and make you buy a new brand or some shit like that. Okay, that's a bad example, because that's not one that ever actually happened, or happens, but it's that kind of thing, that you can just have things that'll be weird on PC, even when you can technically should be able to play them, whereas I know I can buy an Xbox game, I can buy a Wii U game, and it will run 100% fine. It might not run to the absolute best it could, but that doesn't always fuss me. And plus, I'm a big, as you'll know from watching my channel, big Nintendo fan. They don't do stuff on PC, so I'm always going to at least own a Nintendo console, because I like Mario Kart and well, not Mario Party so much anymore, but Mario Kart and Zelda and mainstream Mario games and stuff like that. And those are never going to come to PC, so I will always happily buy a Nintendo console, because I'm also happy to support Nintendo. Though, I don't own an I own neither an Xbox One nor a PS4, because they are extremely large amounts of money. Like, that's the thing, I can't really justify spending, like, 400 quid on a console, and that's, like, just the bare bones console. At least I can justify to myself more spending, like, 500 quid on a computer, or, like, upgrades for a computer, because at least then, like, I will use my computer for a load of other stuff. Like, having a fast computer is just useful generally, because it means you can just do work faster, especially when you're, like, editing and stuff like that. It's a good investment having a kind of computer, but I can see why people would be, the kind of whole PC master race thing, I can see why people would be reluctant to sink a large amount of money into a console that will be obsolete in, like, maximum, well, I was going to say 5 years, but I'm currently playing this game on an Xbox that's nearly 10 years old, so apparently not that obsolete, but, like, my point is, it is just a games console, and that is an issue, and it's something that console makers haven't really worked a way around yet, because there's nothing really they can do about it, and yeah, they're kind of like, people try and put stuff in to make consoles feel like they can do more, so, like, if they put, like, Netflix on them or something like that, but in reality, that's not what people want out of a console. I think people would be better if just consoles had kind of more games rather than trying to give them a load of features. Because, to be honest, I don't know what other people like, but I don't buy a console for its features. I buy it for the bloody games I can play on it. Like, yes, the gamepad is an interesting concept, and I'm sure it leads to interesting and innovative gameplay. But the reality is, there are Zelda games. Well, there aren't yet, but there will be, hopefully, Zelda games on the Wii U and stuff like that. So, that's the reason I bought one, and that's the reason I will continue to kind of buy one and play one. It's not because I particularly like the innovation or anything like that. I just like the games. And I wish more developers would realise that. But anyway, after the world's longest drive and bitching session, we have arrived in the garage of the Peak 15 research facility, I think you'll find. God, Doctor. And so that's, ooh. Dude, this is a nice sniper. That was an extremely strange noise. Oh, those are Krogan. Dear me. Boink. Krogan. Damping, I think, stops a lot of Krogan's shit. Like, they're... Oh, he's gonna melt. Oh, dude. Incendiary rounds are brutal. Like, when you think about it, it's, like, physically just, like, liquefying them because of the kind of intense heat. I've got them on at the moment, so I'm gonna keep them on here because...
User alert. All Peak 15 facilities have suffered a great deal of damage. Biohazard materials present throughout facility. Virtual intelligence user interface offline.
We will need to get the reactors back online.
So, the main kind of task here is basically getting Peak 15 back online, which takes a while. What I was going to say there was... even though the kind of our Geth here, you won't actually be facing a lot of Geth here, to the point where I don't think it's actually really worth it putting a lot of, like, having, like, the tungsten rounds. So that's why and I think Rex as well, we have, like, hold on, what am I going to do here briefly? I've unlocked the final top of Charm. Excellent. Do that. Liara can have Barrier, because she's squishy. And Rex can have... Rex is not squishy. Rex can have Battle Master. Why not? I've lost my damn train of thought again. Man, I've been hopeless this episode. Yeah, you will be fighting a surprisingly large amount of organic enemies, probably more than synthetic ones, so it's worth having Shredder rounds if you've got them. They give you a fair few of them, but Incendiary I prefer because they do damage over time and they're powerful enough against the Geth anyway.
Why are the turrets facing the wrong way?
They want to keep their people in as much as they want to keep others out.
So, something weird's going on here. That's all quite kind of very sinister stuff. I would advise, unfortunately, I should have advised earlier while you still had the chance, but while you're in Port Hanshan, go to Opold and basically sell anything you don't need, because you will get an absolute ton of stuff here, and there aren't many shops out this way, so it's really worth, while you've got the chance, like, selling everything, because to have room for all the stuff you will receive throughout the rest of this kind of mission. But for now, basically, our goal will tend to be repairing the Peak 15 stuff that's been fucked, because basically the VI core's offline, the landline connections have been cut, and the VI core... Did I say the VI core already? I don't know. Anyway, there's some Geth here, so we can kind of take care of them fairly easily. So yeah, let's get these. Like I say, oddly enough, I always find it bizarre that Geth are probably the easiest enemy to fight in the game in terms of just how quick you can clean them up. That's a table! That's a table! What's... Oh, actually that looks like steel deck. I don't know what's going on there. Anyway. That was a weird camera angle.
What was that?
Probably debris. Don't have a panic attack. I'll protect you.
And now we face a new enemy. Well, I say a new enemy. You may recognize it if you are extremely attentive and or have played the game before, but mostly if you are extremely attentive. We've fought these things before. Rachni! Scary, crazy insect things. They kind of look like a lot of people's nightmares, I imagine. But we faced these before.
What were those?
We have faced these before, specifically on the planet Binthu during the mission UNC Cerberus. We fought Thorian creepers, and I went out of my way to not show what they were as much as I could, and we also fought these Rachni as well. Basically, Cerberus, it turns out, had been stealing monsters from around the galaxy, but yeah, I specifically... Oh, there's one through here, I think. Or not. Oh, I remember what this one is. You open the medical kit, you think, oh, it's all well and good, and then when you try and leave the room... Fucker comes up out of the grate. Now I remember. I'll wreck you in my damn way. As I say, these things are why it's useful to have Incendiary or Shredder rounds, because they're really effective against them. But yeah, so we have technically fought them before, but I tried very hard to not show them as much as I could, so hopefully you didn't see them. There's also an extremely large amount of elevators here. Get used to them over the next episode or two. Probably, hopefully, just this episode and the next one. We should be beyond the rage of elevator shit by then. Well, who knows, really. I should have cut this one out rather than just talking shit, and yet, here we are. So if we come through here, this is the kind of main body of the Peak 15 research station. And it's full of Rachni! Yay! The other parts, like I said, there's the Rachni workers are these little things that are much smaller and much more... Well, man, you never normally get to see these up close. These are freakish things. I think these ones are glitched out a bit. Yeah, they're basically suicide bombers. They just run into you and explode, which is kind of unpleasant. But anyway, there is this power junction here.
Critical startup error. Virtual intelligence user interface offline. Manual boot required.
So our first goal in the kind of repairs process is to get the VI core back online, which involves what I think is a fun puzzle, but a load of people I know who've played this game really hate. So if we go down into Mirror, the VI, and down into its kind of core, ooh, this looks cool. And we get to play a fun little mini-game. You can override it with 100 Omnigel if you're a pussy, but I'm going to attempt manual reactivation. So here's the deal. Press a button. Basically, we want to get all of the blue stacks out of X on the left and into one of either Y or B. Press a button to pick up a stack, and then press another button to deposit in another one. The rules are basically you can only hold one stack at a time, and you can only transfer a stack if there's no stacks above it. So if I were to press X again on the third one, I can't transfer that one to either Y or B, because something would be transferred on top of it. So basically you just have to kind of do a shuffly aroundy thing, and you should be able to kind of follow what I'm doing here well enough. I roughly know what I'm doing here, but also I sometimes don't. There we go, we've kind of got the main thing. You just have to basically use all three to shuffle the stuff around as much as you can. Put that one on, no, I can't do that yet. Oh, need to put that on, no, need to put that one on Y. Put that one on top of there, that one onto there, Y on top of B, then the one from the top of X onto Y, that one from there onto B, and then finally that one over to there. Hope you're following that. If you're not, slow it down, it's fine. I'll probably put up there's a kind of just button code basically to do it.
Looks like you're trying to restore this facility. Would you like help?
Help would be great. Who are you?
This system is monitored to respond to the name Mira. May I ask your name?
Commander Shepard. I work for the Citadel Special Tactics and Reconnaissance.
One moment, please. Council authority confirmed. You are entitled to secure access of all systems. Please note that queries relating to corporate secrets require privileged access. Privileged access is only available to Binary Helix executives. This system is ready to process queries. You may access me at any holographic interface within Peak 15.
I need to find Matriarch Benezia.
Lady Benezia departed on the passenger tramway to the Rift Station subsidiary labs. User alert. The tramway system is currently inoperable.
What's the situation here?
One moment, please. Diagnostics in progress. Critical failure. Main reactor shut down in accordance with emergency containment procedures. Manual restart required. Critical failure. Landline connections are disabled. Passenger tram systems are offline. Report complete. Do you have an additional system status query?
That's all I need right now.
Very well, Commander. Logging you out. User alert. Main reactor shut down in accordance with emergency containment procedures. Manual restart required.
Get used to hearing that particular bit of dialogue over the next episode.
Landline connections are disabled. Now exiting to the roof. User alert. Landline connections are disabled.
Yeah, Mirror is extremely repetitive. So our goal for the next while, as I say, is the repairing of Peak 15 systems, and we'll have a chance to do just one of them this time, which is the fixing the comms systems, which is up here on the roof. We've only got like a couple of minutes before I want to end the episode. Up here are more Rachni. Is that right? Yeah, it is Rachni. I wasn't sure for a moment. No, that's a Rachni much closer to me. Oh, ow. Whoa, did she just throw a Rachni at me? That's not cool. You can blend through these guys pretty easily, though you have to watch out. These are one of the enemies, like Thorian creepers, that can kind of fuck you over because they, as you can see, they don't damage your shields, they just damage straight onto your health. But, oh god, I wish she'd shut up. There we go, landlines repaired. Shut up, Mira. And that gives us a nice little level up, so we'll finish on that by giving myself... Oh, nearly got to Master Assassination now. Man, I'm cool. Let's give Liara some more... let's give her Warp. Shouldn't use Warp in a while. And let's give Rex... You know what? Also Warp. Keep mix things up a little bit. And yeah, we'll hold the episode there, I reckon. This is a cool enough place. It's not a damn roof in the middle of a snowstorm. Actually, this isn't a roof at all. It's a lie. We're not even exposed, really. This is the oddest roof I've ever seen. I suppose it's the highest point in the structure that we can get to, so it might as well be the roof. But yeah, this episode we have come to the Peak 15 research facility. I completely blanked for a moment there, and found that it's under attack by strange beasties with no sign of anyone around apart from some Geth. So, oh my god, shut up, Mira. God. It's going to get extremely annoying quickly. And yeah, next episode we will be
required.
We'll be manually restarting the main reactor next episode to finally shut that damn woman up and continuing with the rest of the repairs of Peak 15. Thank you very much for watching. I've been the Doctor with the Infamous Gentleman, and this has been Mass Effect. Good day.